Eastern and Western Conference Finals both set. Why don't we start in the East? Florida against Carolina, where I bet against Florida in each of the first two rounds and doesn't really feel great. Game 1 tomorrow in Carolina. The Hurricanes are a slight home favorite, but the Panthers are favored to win the series. Florida minus 125, Carolina plus 105. Femi, thoughts on the Eastern Conference Final? Then we'll do the West and we'll talk Conn Smythe.
Yeah, my thoughts are that I think the wrong team is favored. Like, I'll go out there and say it. Like, I think, and I'm not saying that Carolina should be like minus 200, but like with home ice and the way that they've been playing in these playoffs, the way they played in the regular season, I think it should be like Carolina minus 120 and then like Florida even money. Like just maybe flipping the price a little bit, although like Florida continues to get bet out. Like Carolina, like the one thing that I think the betting market hates about them in this particular matchup is the fact that like in years past, they've come up short. Like that's been the story on the Hurricanes. Like they come up short even though they look great on a sheet of paper. The spreadsheet tells you Carolina is one of the best teams. We've been doing this dance for 3 years, but I don't know, like this, it feels a little bit different to me this go around. I don't know why. Like it's a lot of the usual suspects on this team, but it just feels different in watching them play. Now, did they get advantageous matchups in their first couple of rounds? Yeah, like Washington was a little over their skis this season, a very wildly overperforming season from the Caps, and New Jersey was banged up with all the injuries. But Carolina has done what they need to do. And I think what I love most about Carolina in this particular series is that they're also very physical. Like that's Florida's whole thing. The forecheck and all that stuff and like being physical and making teams pretty much tap out. Guess who plays that style of hockey as well? The Carolina Hurricanes. They are very physical. You watch those games, Carolina looking to beat you up, and they're not allowing a whole lot of shots on their goal, on Frederik Andersen, who's been really good in this postseason as well. I think these two teams are very similar to where I don't think the Panthers are going to be able to just like punk the Carolina Hurricanes. So I'm going to roll with the team that has the home ice. I mean, I'm looking at Carolina stuff right now. They were the best penalty killing team in the NHL this year. Defensively, they are phenomenal. And with the home ice, I think Carolina gets it done. It's a long series. I think it probably even goes 7. But I'm going with the Canes. It feels like everyone is like, oh, they're going to do it again. I don't know if Florida's going to do it again. At some point, all this hockey they've been playing over the last 24 months will catch up to them. I think it's going to catch up to them in this series against a very, very physical team who will match, if not even exceed, their physicality.
I do think that it'll catch up with the Florida Panthers, all this hockey, but not in this series. For me, Carolina's like, not quite, because they won a Stanley Cup in the last 50 years. They're kind of like the American version of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's playoff chokers going up against Florida. And look, Freddie Andersen's been great. This might be like a dead under series with the way Andersen's playing, the way Bobrovsky's capable of playing. The total in the game is 5.5 tomorrow night. It's juiced towards the under. That feels right to me. Like under 5.5 is a play for tomorrow night. Again, minus 120. Still going to like that for tomorrow night. 5, no interest if that's going to be what it is. But under 5.5 will be a bet for me if and when we get there tomorrow night. And that's the number. And Florida. Like Florida's the bet for me in this series. Florida minus 125. I don't know how many games it's going to take. I don't even know if I'm going to bet this series game by game. I think Florida's going to find a way to win. And I'm going to like whoever comes out of the West to beat Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's the Eastern Conference Final. Femi, what about the West? Dallas has home ice in the series. The Stars are a minus 125 favorite in Game 1 on Wednesday night. Total in that game is 6 with Stuart Skinner back in net for the Oilers against Jake Ottinger, Mikko Rantanen, and the Stars. Edmonton is a slight favorite in the series, minus 118, Dallas minus 102. I'm guessing you like your Stars in the series against the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that Florida's been the team that's been taking money out of your pockets. Edmonton's been that team for me. Like, I've just been betting against Edmonton. Here are the Kings. Here are the Vegas Golden Knights. Here's the Dallas Stars. Give me the Dallas Stars to win this one. Let's see where this goes. Dallas right now at plus money. I think they're the better overall team. Now, the 1-2 punch of McDavid and Draisaitl is obviously the best 1-2 punch in the league. Like, those two dudes, 2 of the 5 best players in hockey probably. And, like, I don't want to just make it seem it's just those two guys because this postseason has shown us, like, Bouchard and like all these guys that they've had on Edmonton, like they're getting big performances from them. Their depth has been better than I expected. But despite all that, I still think Dallas is the better team, and Dallas will get it done because this Mikko Rantanen trade that they made at midseason, like that completely flipped the Stars. That's the difference this year for me with Dallas as opposed to years past when, Dallas makes a nice run, but then they stub their toe. Like last year where they lost to Edmonton in this very round. But Rantanen takes them up to another level. Heiskanen's back, and Heiskanen looked like Heiskanen in Game 6. Like when he came back early in the series, it looked like, okay, like Miro Haiskanen's here. But like, no, it looked like Miro Heiskanen, like one of the top defensemen in all of the NHL. And also, too, the way that Jake Ottinger is playing. You want to talk about like a goalie that has like postseason woes hovering over them. And like Ottinger's been a guy where it's like, can you really trust him in the big spots? The save he made Saturday night with his stick to block out the wide open net. Like this dude is standing on his head. He has been unbelievable for the Dallas Stars. They have the goalie edge. They have the home ice. I think Dallas wins probably a 6 or 7 game series, but I'm going with the team with the plus money because I think they're the better team. I like Dallas to advance to the Stanley Cup final. I think it's going to be the Dallas Stars and the Carolina Hurricanes to decide this whole thing at the end.
I love that you like Dallas, Carolina. I think we get a rematch of last year with Edmonton and Florida.
Oh man.
I learned my lesson in the last round after betting. Like look, we both had it. We had the Kings. Didn't go great. Then I had the Oilers against Vegas. I really think, and you see this happen sometimes in a hockey postseason where a couple different goalies will play for a team. Now sometimes you just have the locked-in starter, like Sergei Bobrovsky's never getting benched. Right? Mm-hmm. Like Freddie Anderson's going to play for Carolina. I think it's really important for Edmonton on this arc that Skinner exited, Pickard played and played well, and then Pickard leaves the lineup and Skinner comes back in and Skinner's great. If Skinner's playing really well, I don't think... How about this? Forget about Skinner. If Edmonton has a good goaltender, period, like one of the goalies is hot, I think they just win. Like they're the best team. Now, they were the best team last year, and they didn't win. Florida, Bobrovsky was way better than Skinner, and Edmonton was not as mentally tough as Florida, right? You would think that what happened last year would serve the Oilers well. A loss to Florida, if they were to play again. I think Edmonton's going to get past Dallas, and I think Edmonton over Florida in the Stanley Cup final. That's plus 500 at BetMGM. But I will say, Femi, I do think the winner of the West, either Edmonton or Dallas, is going to be my pick to win the Stanley Cup. So whoever comes out of the West against whoever comes out of the East, I'll take the Western team against the Eastern team. Edmonton over Carolina, Dallas over Carolina, Dallas over Florida, Edmonton over Florida.
I think my ranking right now for teams that, and this is famous last words. I like Dallas, obviously. If Dallas doesn't win, I think Carolina gets it done. If Carolina doesn't do it, I think Florida repeats. Edmonton's still fourth for me. I can't just completely throw out the regular season. I know like playoff hockey is different and it's a whole other season and like things get different and weird and teams get hot. I just cannot do it. I can't. So I'm going to go down with the ship. If McDavid beats me and Draisaitl beats me, I'll be the idiot that bet against them in every single round, but I'm willing to sign up for that. I don't think Edmonton's getting it done.
How are you betting the Conn Smythe?
For me, Conn Smythe, because obviously like it's an opinion market, like whoever you think is going to win the title is who you should probably bet on. I know last year was different. Like McDavid won it despite like not winning the Stanley Cup.
To be fair to what you're saying though, like that didn't even really manifest itself until like the end of Game 5, really.
Yes. 100%. Like once people thought that, oh, there's a chance that maybe the series goes longer than we thought. But when it was 3-0, it was like the whole like Bobrovsky versus Barkov debate. So obviously you want to bet on who you think is going to win it. I think I do remember that. When the answer was just like neither, and it was really obvious it was neither, yeah. But the market didn't account for it, and we were just jamming in Connor McDavid. Yes, it was a lot of fun. Just like, oh, this is just done. I can just jam this. Great. It's like, is it Barkov or Bobrovsky? It's McDavid actually, guys. Catch up. But for me, I think the Dallas Stars win this one, and the way I have it ranked once again: Stars, Hurricanes, Panthers, Oilers. I like Dallas. If you don't have any Dallas, I think Ottinger is a bet because like. The longer this goes,
not Rantanen,
the wait. I don't think it's Rantanen. Rantanen's the most likely right now, of course, because he leads all the playoffs in points. But the last,
I think we may have lost Femi there. We'll get Femi back up. Femi was in the midst of saying that he thinks Ottinger is the most likely. So Femi, you broke up there for a second. Continue what you were saying. That you think Ottinger, you were saying Rantanen is the most likely right now because he leads the Stanley Cup playoffs in points, but you think as we progress further that Ottinger will become a better candidate?
100%. Yeah, the haters are trying to cut me off there on that one, aka my internet. But like the last couple of games, Rantanen has not scored a point, not registered a point, and Ottinger has really started to become like the face of this thing. Like the replay of that save from Saturday night is going to be everywhere until we see the game on Wednesday. And I think if Ottinger continues to play this well, Dallas will continue to progress. 14-1. The further we get removed from Rantanen's awesome third period against Colorado, the further we get removed from all these great games, I do think Ottinger, a guy who's been the face of this Dallas Stars movement, can win this Conn Smythe trophy. So Rantanen definitely most likely right now, but just think about where we could be a month from now. I think Ottinger 14-1 is more than live. And then for me, for Carolina, I think it's actually Andrei Svechnikov at 30-1.
Oh, so not Anderson. Who likes Freddie Anderson? Was it Jay Croucher that liked Freddie Anderson on the show last week?
And he's definitely the most likely. Like, as great as Ottinger's been, Anderson, his save percentage, 93.7%. That's in line with a goalie to win Conn Smythe. So I understand why the market has him at such a short price.
Competition's about to get way better for Carolina. It's way better than the Devils and the Capitals.
100%. And they're going to have to score some damn goals. And Svechnikov, 8 goals so far, leading that team by far. And his goals have been impactful, timely goals. If he does that and carries that narrative, 30-1 right now to win Conn Smythe. So, like, Anderson's been great, but he also hasn't faced that many shots in comparison to someone like Ottinger. Ottinger's faced like 350 shots or something like that so far in this postseason. Now, he's played in a lot of games, 7-game series, 6-game series, but like he's actually been like standing the test. Anderson, he's been great, but also, you know, like I think they faced like 180 shots, something like that. Like not that many in comparison to some of those other guys that are up there. So I think I would go with one of the skaters. Svechnikov right now, 30-1, the longest price of the skaters, who I think can win this award. Like when you factor in Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis for Carolina. So that's how I would look at for the two teams that I think can win the Stanley Cup and the two teams I think will meet in the Stanley Cup final.
Is it lame and square just to bet Connor McDavid?
No, because if Edmonton wins it, he's going to win.
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, have to be square, right?